I've got your session, Jake Henze, and you can see, based on what you're looking at, I'm missing your drum tracks. I imported it directly from your file that you gave me, and it comes up missing 3 drum tracks. Let's go see if there's anything in the audio file. It looks like a kick drum. And I see lots of duplicate, 14. I see floor tom. There's a kick, but not kick 17, which is what's missing, the one that's in there. So all these sessions, all these other kick drums are here, but I don't know what. You can see missing kick 17, snare 17. So did you 17 takes maybe or something? And you can see here there's lots of snares, but the ones you're using, I don't know where they went. So kind of an issue. So I can't comment on your drums, and I'm not gonna, this isn't part of the song, so I can't use this as a reference, so I don't want to. So but you know, I see some EQ and some compression. I have no idea what's going on, so we'll see if I'm assuming that's good. So because there's some other stuff that was good, so I'd like to see bus 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 are taking you to hear the deverb and this long delay. The drums themselves, I don't know what's being bused to 5 and 6, this compressor on this aux channel. I don't see, in case I'm missing something, let's look here. Okay, so this intro, you have 2 compressors on that intro cosmonaut voice, but yet you're sending it to a compressor. So I'm not sure I understand that. We don't send anything to a compressor. We might output bus them to a compressor to compile them together, for instance, multiple background tracks. Or what you have with some of these acoustic guitar. So one of the things you did, which was cool, you stereo mic'd it, and then Nick wanted to double track it. So you have this 2 separate takes. So here's a particular instance where this would be cool. So then what you could do is bus these to the same channel, bring up a stereo aux input, set this to the input, and now you could bus those 2 tracks together. You see how one of those is higher? So what we could do, that's a little crazy, right? So let's do, there's some like gentle limiting. Let's just do a little, and you can see it's, you could bus them together, and that's the one's still a little bit louder. So let's turn this one down just a little bit. Oh, you got automation on it, that's right. Or I could hit it a little bit harder. So let's do, there's a, not that. I like the idea of fatten, right? We're not going to crush anything, but we could just start from scratch, just do a factory default. So we can see the threshold's up here. This is where this one's hitting and this one's hitting higher. So let's get somewhere in there. Let's go dig a little deeper so we're getting both guitars. Do I have one section just limited? Or is it just do that part over and over again? It's fine by me. Cool. Good. Now we've got these 2 wrapped in the same compressor. And we're solidifying the stereo image. A little heavy. I'm going to up the knee, soften the knee a little bit. See how that edge gets a little. And what I've got now is those 2 locked in that compressor, so when one acts, they both get pushed back and they both get brought up together, which solidifies, instead of giving like this shaky image where something on the left triggers and something on the right's a little bit louder. I've got these 2 locked in together. So that's an instance of where you might do that, and you've got that with a couple other things, and you could put those effects in there as well. I'd be curious, I wrote on my notes there what you did with this out for reverb. I'd like to hear more about that. You could do the same thing with the electric guitar, same thing. You could even put those in that same, you could put that in the same, but it probably wouldn't trigger with the acoustic because it's not going to be as loud. So a couple good things. Couple things that here's this. Oh, this is me. Don't worry. I'm like, what is that? Can't hear your drums, so I'm missing some things. But some other things I'm liking. High pass filter. Would like to see a little bit more EQ to fit things around. You know, I would know more if I had the drums as far as where things would fit. So with the guitars, you've got the electric guitars, and you're just high pass filtering. Oops, what's going on here? And you can make a notch out, so you know there's not a ton of vocals, so it's hard. And these sounds a little distorted. I'd be curious the tracking procedure for that. So there's some clipping going on in some of these tracks, and where else did I see that? The feedback. That's just pure signed. There it is.
But these jeans are pretty.
So yeah, curious.
But these jeans are pretty.
Sounds distorted. Is that just all from Nick? So, and then what else did I see? Because the waveforms, and then these weren't doing anything. These must have been party.
But these jeans are pretty. Meet me at the mini mall.
So what you're doing with this alpha reverb, I'm a little confused. So we'll talk more about that. So, and then your stereo master fader is nice and clean, sitting a little bit off of 0. So we should have that 0 with some decent panning. Went really crazy. I liked, you know, one of the things, just to finish up, that you did with the acoustic, even though you stereo mic'd it, you have the ability then, if you don't want to stereo mic it, you could do what you did, which is double track and put 2 over the left, 2 over the right. So, but things like this feedback, like you have that place to play with things. So we have a lot of center, left and right, a little bit with these effects. So you can play a little bit more with that panning to try to make things fit a little bit better. Not better, I mean it's good, but just you can fit things differently and find holes